have a family food fest. And this is going to be a lot of fun because I've invited my granddaughter, and hopefully you will see my younger grandchildren on the show as well. And we are going to put together some desserts and treats that you can try at home this summer that are family friendly. Everybody can join in and help make it. So I would like to ask Hannah to come on the set. And she has, hi Hannah.
Hi.
She has a delightful crowd pleaser cookie. And I'm going to let her take over. Tell me what to do.
Okay, so first we're going to start with our 2 sticks of softened butter, which we already have in the bowl. And to these 2 sticks of butter, we are going to add 3/4 of a cup of sugar, as well as 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar.
It's a very sticky day, and we're actually taping. It's probably almost 100-degree humidity, but you're doing great.
Okay, so now we're going to beat this with a hand beater until it's fluffy.
Oh,
If you want to do that.
Sure. I'll do it on low because I don't want things to fly all over the place, but the butter is relatively soft. We had it out for a while. Okay.
So you're going to beat that until it's completely fluffy and entirely mixed. So we're gonna.
So does that look pretty good?
Yeah, it looks about good.
She's an expert on this. I've never made these cookies, so I'm leaving it up to her expertise. Okay.
Okay, so to our mixture now, we're going to add 2 eggs into our mixture, as well as 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and 2 teaspoons of cinnamon.
Good.
And we're going to get that entirely mixed up.
Okay, how's it look?
Looks
good?
almost good. Yep.
Okay. There you have it. Okay.
Now in a separate bowl, we are going to mix, in a separate bowl, we're going to mix 2.5 cups of flour, 3/4 of a tablespoon, or a teaspoon of baking soda,
Okay.
and 1 teaspoon of salt. And we're going to whisk it together. And then we're going to add this to our wet mixture.
Okay.
And
Should
beat
I
it
start
in
her up
again. Yep, beat it in again with the hand mixture.
Want to make sure that I get it in gradually because I have seen this fly up in my face if too much flour gets into the beater. But you can just take another spoon and gradually move it into the beater. And it seems to work up pretty well.
Yeah, it's really easy to work with.
Very, very nicely. But now is when the muscle work starts, right?
I guess you could say that. Okay, so now that this is entirely mixed up, once it's entirely mixed up, we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of chocolate-covered raisins into our mixture.
And I think it's a lot better if we do this by hand, right?
Yeah, I would say it's easier to do it by hand.
Because then I think the chocolate-covered raisins would break up a little bit. So I'm going to let Hannah take over on that.
So you're going to mix this in. And just get it so it's evenly distributed throughout your dough. And then we're going to add in our 1 cup of candy-coated chocolate.
And those are peanuts, right?
Oh yes, these are peanut candy-coated chocolates.
Wow. My grandson William has joined us so that we can work this up. And Hannah, I'll let you tell them what we did to prepare the cups.
Okay, so all we did was we pre-greased each of the muffin tins so that it doesn't stick whenever you take it out of the oven and try to take them out. And we're just going to take a scoop on a soup spoon And we're just going to place it into the muffin tin. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to form to the shape of the tin.
Temperature for baking this is?
350 degrees.
Okay.
And you're going to bake them for between 18 to 20 minutes.
Okay, 18 to 20 minutes. Now, when I take this out, what are good directions at that point?
I would say let them cool while they're still in the muffin tins for a good 15 minutes at least.
Oh, really?
So until they're nice and cool. Because they might fall apart, and the candy-coated chocolates sometimes have a problem with falling apart while they're in them if you take them out too soon.
How you doing, William? Yeah? You're doing very well. I can see over on this side that you're doing a great job. You're really very careful. Awesome. You're welcome. And even though it is a very hot day, we're going to put this in the oven, and I will show you what these ultimately look like. There. And Hannah has pre-made some of these so that this is what they look like, and they really are like a muffin. The crowd pleasers come across looking like a little muffin with cookie texture. They're awesome. They're very, very hearty. And just to show you, this is how they look on the inside. You can see they're colorful. They still retain their color. And when they break, you know that they're not a muffin. They're a cookie. So these are the crowd pleasers. How are we doing? Awesome. Hand it over, and I'll get that in the oven.
We have one more
Okay.
to do. All done?
Yeah.
Good, thank you so much.
And there we have it. The crowd pleasers. And okay, our next treat is called Samoas. And if you notice, I have Isabella here to help me, along with William and Hannah. And what we're going to do, I'm going to take and have my family pound away at the graham crackers so we can break them up. And Isabella, you try breaking these up with Hannah. Crack them up, and
Yeah.
William, you take the mallet on the smooth end.
Keep crunching.
Now, William, you start using the smooth edge of the mallet, and you pound away. This is 1.5 cups each, so it's 3 cups of graham crackers. You can give it a good wallop, hun. And make sure that you make the graham crackers crumbly, not fine and grainy, but just chunky. Keep going. Now, I have here pre-mixed, ground up, crumbled graham crackers. I'm adding 2 sticks of butter to the mix, along with 1/4 cup of sugar. And this has to be all mixed together. And Isabella, see this? This is a mix that you're going to work on. I've already pre-made a few Samoa bars so my family can make their own. So what I'm going to do is take this and set it aside for a minute. And Hannah, you can put out
Look what we got.
the Samoa bar trays. And this is the base. You see how it's really hard, flat, sturdy? Hannah's going to do a big one, and William has his. Now the first thing you do, after you, and as you see I have here, if I took a little more time on it, it would be mixed up a little bit more easily. Hannah,
Isabella.
why don't you take with Isabella, and Isabella, take these chocolate chips
Yep.
and sprinkle them all over the base.
Just like this. Look. We're going to take them and sprinkle them all over.
Ooh.
So I'm going to do it with my big one, and you do it on the little one. You too.
Go ahead, William, you just take and put the chocolate chips all over the base. What I like to do when I put the crumbs in the base, I usually take and press with a spatula and flatten it down very, very firmly so that you get a good crust when you bake it. And you'll see that when I show you the Samoa bars at the end of this segment. But it's very, very hard and firm. Once you get all the chocolate chips spread around, now you can take and start your marshmallows.
Okay.
Done.
Almost done. Okay.
Almost done.
I'll start with my marshmallows, and you can start after you finish.
I'll help a little here. I'll do some of the marshmallows at this end, and Isabella, you can do some of the marshmallows down your end. And one thing I need to tell you folks is that when you're doing this, you take a third of it and you set it aside in a plate, and you'll sprinkle that on top. In the interest of space, I'm just showing you how to flatten it, but you really need to take 1/3 of it, put it aside in a dish, and then you can take and sprinkle it on the top, as you'll see will happen with these Samoa bars. That's awesome. I'll borrow your dish, Isabella, and I will take 1/3 and put it to the side, so I will have it ready for another Samoa bar. And then what you do is you take the remaining portion and just spread it out.
That looks great.
And now you take these crumbs, the remaining graham cracker crumbs, and just take and sprinkle them over the top. Go right ahead.
Just like
Take
this.
this, and I think what I'll do, because this might be a little bit hard for Isabella. How you doing, William?
Oh, he's doing great. It looks awesome.
Once we get this in, Isabella, take this and flatten it. Okay? Just take it by the back part. Yup. That's right. You're doing it. Awesome. Give it a good flat press.
If you need help, let me know, okay?
Beautiful. And what happens, you put it in the oven, 350 degrees for only 10 minutes, and then it comes out like a little puffy. Your marshmallows are a little bit puffed up, and you let it cool. Then you put it in the refrigerator for an hour. Why? Because then you can cut your slices beautifully. And that's something that I'll show you shortly. Beautiful. Now what I'm going to do is put them in the oven. You did a great job. Thank you.
It looks amazing.
William, thank you. That is great. Okay, so we'll have this,
There you go.
and I'll put the big one
All
in
done?
the oven right
Yeah.
now.
Did you smash it down with your spatula? Go ahead. Be careful. It looks great. Thank you so much. Perfect.
Here we have the Samoa bars, When they come out, I cut them into 1 to 2 inch squares. And if you notice the base, because we really pressed into the base of the Samoa bar pan, we have a good crust on these bars. And that's what you want. So these are, you certainly may, William. I think you're deserving of a piece, as well as Hannah. So I will offer you. Thank you. They're cold because it's such a hot day. I did keep them refrigerated. Otherwise, they heat up and they're nice and soft. They're chewy, huh? But
How
you
is
like it? Awesome. So try these. They really are a lot of fun, and you make a lot of them so that they last a long time. You can also freeze them. Here we go with confetti popcorn. And this is an absolutely wonderful treat. And if you notice, I added another grandson to the show. This is Ethan. We now have Ethan and William. Now you see this, I take 5 ounces of large marshmallows. Boys, I'm going to put it in a hot pot. That pot is hot. And what I'm also going to do is add 5 ounces of butter. And I cubed it, so hopefully it's going to mix up really well. But could you please help Hannah add the popcorn, the nuts, and the candy-coated chocolates to that big bowl?
right.
Why don't you do that?
Do you want to dump this
William
in here for me?
and Ethan, help Hannah.
All right, dump it in here. Awesome. This one in here. Oops. And you can do this one. So I'll take this. There you go. Perfect, thank you so much. Okay, now we're gonna mix it together. So we're gonna take our spatula or spoon and we're gonna mix it. Do you wanna help me mix it? Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Bring it in and popcorn balls have a lot of
Cool,
popcorn
thank
in
you.
it.
Do you wanna help?
Yeah.
Oops.
Excellent. Make sure it's all mixed well, that it isn't just on the bottom of the bowl.
Here, let me do it.
And then the marshmallows, and see how it's turning into like a sauce? The marshmallows are melting. And in a couple of minutes, what we're going to do is take this mix and add it to what Hannah is doing. And then she's going to stir it all up. And we're going to make these balls 2 to 3 inches. We might have to cool it for just a minute to make sure that the boys, you know, that it isn't too hot for their hands. And then I have a muffin tin on the table because we can lay the balls on the muffin tin, let them harden, and we have here, just hold that up so that they can see, we're going to take and we're going to insert a stick in every one of these popcorn balls. And then I have a little treat over on William's side. We have Jimmy's and confetti sprinkles, and they can dip them in the confetti sprinkles and Jimmy's, and it really makes for an awesome treat. I do refrigerate these as well. Now be careful, this is hot. I'm going to pour this into the pot, and you just take and stir it around as best as you can. Okay. And I'll take one more. I'll just use a spatula, get the very last bit out. Okay. A little tip. When you begin to roll the popcorn balls, wet your hands in cold water. They won't stick. We are going to compress these balls, and so just let it stay for a minute. Very good. and it might have to just dry. I want to show the viewing audience what they look like, because they're really, take one, Ethan, they're so good. And pass one over to William, take one.
Take one.
Sure. Enjoy, go ahead, you can enjoy trying them, but these are delightful. And you can just push the stick right in, or you can take a knife, insert it in the dried popcorn ball, and then the stick slips in very easily. Now there is one unique popcorn ball I'd like to show you. Sort of came as a result of experimenting with mini coated candies. And what you have here is the mini coated candies. You mix those in with the mix, and what happens is they break down, and it becomes like a confetti, which is, that's what we call it, a confetti popcorn ball, and it looks like caramel. It actually turns a brownish tone, but they're really very unique. Now what you do, here's one like so, and what I'll do is I'll just take, hopefully, push hard, and there you have it. So that's our confetti popcorn balls, and as you can see, they love it. They really love it, and they actually are strong enough, these two young men are strong enough to insert these sticks in these balls. So there you have confetti popcorn balls. Oops. What we're doing to end off the show is something called fruit decos. If you see here on this platter, what I've done is I've taken the rind of one of the fruits I have here, either a cantaloupe, a honeydew, or a watermelon, and I've put it underneath as a base on the plate. Then I took fresh lettuce from the garden and covered it over. But what I needed to do first was to take and make some holes, as I'm doing here on this orange. Make some holes in the rind so that when Ethan and William take a fruit design, they're going to use a toothpick, and as Hannah is showing and demonstrating, and that's how we got this effect. The cutouts are actually cookie cutouts, and a lot of these are from Noah's Ark, or little stars, little flowers, and you name it. They're designs that both Ethan and William have enjoyed using for cookies and other decorations, but now they're going to do something new. There's one trick to this. When they pick one cutout, go ahead, take one, and you take one. Now pick a fruit, pick either cantaloupe, and what I've done is I've made rings, makes it a lot easier. Pick up, okay, you picked watermelon, you picked, okay. And just use that. Now when you make sure that you have the double edge on top and the single edge on the bottom. Take your cutout and push with a tissue pack, because this way it won't hurt their little hands. So take and put your awesome, and then lift up your fruit, and there we have it. And what I'll do is I'll give Ethan the star, and you put a toothpick in. And add it to a hole. Awesome. And I've also, go ahead, do another one. He wants to try watermelon. Awesome. Would you like to try another cutout? here's your choice of another cutout. I'll put them right here so you can pick and choose. And this here is a watermelon rind. Anything works. Naturally, after time, it does rot out, so you have to use this, you know, within a few days. But the best way is to create a decoration, take your lettuce leaves, and just cover them over once you have your little fruit cutouts complete. I also took some blueberries and cherries because both Ethan and William enjoy decorating around the base of the fruit bowl. So I thought I'd leave that out for them too. You can put this on the bottom of the fruit bowl when you finish. And I will add the lettuce leaves. Boy, you really worked up one whole piece already. Awesome. I'd like you all to just enjoy trying these treats because it's a lot of fun when you do it with your family in the summer months, especially where it's so hot. It's a great way to congregate and do something creative.